Okay. Okay, we're gonna take a couple breaths. I'm nervous to share this. I don't know why. Okay. Pumpkins, it is so good to be back on this channel. I don't know how to explain that to you, and it feels really incredible to be here with something that feels very different. It's something that feels of substance to me. I know so much of this channel and so much of the box of Jake Jonez is wrapped up in this persona that's extremely humorous, super himbo, kind of dumb. Trust me, that's all still there. But I was running the other day and I was super inspired because I still think there's such a beauty in YouTube, and I still think there's such a beauty in long form content. And I think I was giving a lot of neglect towards this channel, and I wanted to reinvigorate it with something that felt simple but also could draw you into a completely different side of who I am. And that side is somebody who is still learning every fucking day his voice, learning what his perception and opinion is, and wanting to share that with you guys whenever I felt the need and whenever I felt like somebody could relate or feel like they could learn something from an experience that I've had. And as you can tell from the title of this video, this is a new series called Dinner. And the reason I wanted to call it Dinner is because I think a lot of these conversations I want to have just one-on-one with you is something I would have in a conversation at dinner with a friend. And it was also a play on words of saying, these conversations that I want to have feel like they have more intellectual substance than most other things. And I think dinner is a time throughout the day when people really get more substance out of their food. So it was this play on words of, you're down at dinner with Jakey Jake and you are getting something of substance in these little testimonies. And this episode is reflecting on this year and for myself, changing my sobriety, changing that story for myself. 3 years ago on this channel, I published a video talking about my choice to be sober my entire life and how I had never tried anything. And I want to honor that video, and I want to honor who I was at that moment, because there's also a lot of humility I was composed with that I'm so proud of to this day. And I stated something at the end of that video that said, there may be a day where this evolves and this changes. And I just want to give my old self a pat on the back for saying that, because that day has come and my sobriety has changed. To say that this year has been life-changing is putting that in small, tamed words. And one of the reasons this year has been so life-changing, beyond anything else, losing my puppy, Phoebe, that was extremely life-changing. But the narrative of me testing out not being sober any longer has absolutely changed my life. And it started on the day of my birthday, my 28th birthday, March 16th of this year. I really decided and had conversations with myself internally about, is this something I want to start trying because I think there's an educational value to having an experience for myself? Yes. I said, when and where could this be a safe experience for me? Could it be a happy and healthy and motivated experience to say, you do not have to have this, and trickle along the fear that you've always had with it? Because the truth is, admitting that I was sober out of pure fear is exactly what I needed to do. I was sober because I was so afraid that I would be in the same cycle and create the same people that my parents once were. They are not at that place anymore. They are loving and they are healthy. But I wanted to then be selfish with my experience and say, just because they struggled with it does not mean you, Jake Jonez, are going to have to struggle with it. But you're never going to know that unless you try this and have this experience for myself. So on my birthday, March 16th this year, we were down in Universal, me and my girls, and I was like, I want to have a margarita. Can I put myself in this new experience? And like, I'm just a baby. Can I do this in front of you guys? And they were like, yes, baby, it's time to grow up. Not that there's anything with growing up, but it's time to experience something new. So I got a margarita. It was muy delicioso. I got a spicy marg. Turns out I'm like, kind of fuck with tequila, but at the end of the day, I'm still such a baby. And that started a series of experiences for me where I was starting to learn who I was, having a drink or two, having 3 drinks in one night, having 4 drinks in one night. And it was very infrequent. And it was maybe once a month or once every 3 weekends, whatever it was. And it was always with the safety of close friends around me. And that was nothing but beautiful, because I got to learn where the draw of drinking was. I got to sit with sympathy and understanding of, why do people do this? It can be fun. It can be warming. It can cause you to love harder. It can cause you to feel stronger. It can cause you to have a confidence that you feel embodies yourself even more. And that was something I never was able to sit in because I had never experienced it. But here I had started allowing myself to learn these things and really take so much blame off of, you chose to do this. That's your responsibility. You chose to do this. You should be accountable. And while all that still holds, and as parents, when you're having kids, there's a lot of behaviors you shouldn't exude anymore because trauma can absolutely lay on your children in ways we don't understand. As I digress from that, the idea was I was teaching my younger self and nurturing my younger self through an experience that he never wanted to go through and that he was so afraid. Because my younger self made this very strong decision so long ago that you are going to be sober because it's safe for you. And you are going to be sober because you don't want to be like them. And you are going to be sober because you don't want to hurt or cause the same level of fear to anybody else. And that was something that took a level of learning as well, because while I was going through these experiences, there were some days I woke up the next day and I said to myself, are you going to lose yourself in this? Are you learning from this? Are you just having too much fun with this? Because I'm not going to lie to you, I was having a lit ass time some nights and I was shaking some shit like I wasn't before. And while it was cute and sexy and fly, I had to remind myself, you were doing this to learn something. And I had some incredible conversations with close friends about, there is such a beauty in no longer seeing this aspect of your life in black and white. You are now living in the gray. And you are now, by deciding to do this and educating yourself on this, you are now allowing yourself to break the cycle that you were in, which was thinking if you ever took a drink, if you ever did a drug, that you were being the same person that your family members were being to you. And the truth is that wasn't the case. And the truth is there is a cycle that I broke by making that decision at such a young age. And there's a power in rewriting your narrative through all of this. And it's so profound for me to think about, but it's also so beautiful. And it's about being able to nurture my younger self, who was in such a place of fear the entire time, without admitting it to myself, being able to walk hand in hand with the younger Jakey Poo and saying, you are safe, you are now in your arms, you are nurturing yourself, you are nurturing the inner child that your parents weren't able to nurture. And knowing that I'm at 28 years old and I'm still trying to take care of the young boy that had to go through so much was just such a beautiful lesson. And it's something something I'm learning so much about, and I'm so excited to be able to share that with you guys. And this is just one small dialogue and one small conversation I wanted to have with you guys. And I don't know what you'll take away from this, and it doesn't really even matter. Part of me is sitting here saying, this is my own personal journal of just being free with you guys, with the internet. And I hope this kind of comes as an update for you all. You know, if you see me with a drink out at a bar and you're like, I thought that bitch was sober. I was sober. I was sober for 28 years. And I'm not retracting any of the qualities that I could choose to be like, you know, drinking is expensive as fuck and it's not the healthiest thing. And I'm actually just not going to drink for a few months. And in those few months I am sober. So it was a level of trying to redefine it for myself and trying to walk and say like, do you call yourself sober anymore? And the truth is, I don't think I can, because I don't think it's as important to me as it was before. I was holding up a badge before because I felt like I had so much to owe to my younger self. And now I think what I'm doing for my younger inner child is so much more important. And it's saying that we can still learn and we can still grow together. So on those kind of beautiful, wrapped up, tie it in a bow moment that I just said, I want to end this first episode, second episode. I'm not sure how I'm going to publish this, but I want to end this and say I love you guys. And I hope these testimony series will be fun. Maybe you'll watch them. Even if you don't, I think they're healthy and therapeutic for myself. But they could be something that sparks a light in you and sparks a relatability in you. So I love you guys. Welcome to dinner. And I can't wait to share more with you. Mwah.